All right, let's take a look at number 23. What are we doing here? Well, we're solving and then checking, and the thing that we need to do with this one is to distribute first. Okay, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 4z is 20z. Okay, 10 plus 20z, and it's still also all equals 85. Okay, what do we do now? Now we're just solving it like a regular two-step problem. First thing we need to do is we need to undo this plus 10 with a minus 10 both sides. So what I'm doing is writing the exact same thing both sides. Okay, 10 plus 20z, and then just adding minus 10. Writing 85 here just like it was, and then minus 10. Okay, now we simplify. These two things are inverse operations. The point of doing this minus 10 is to undo this, cancel it out, and of course then we need to simplify this side as well. So we get 20z equals 75. Now z is being multiplied by 20, and the inverse operation for times 20 is divided by 20. So we divide both sides by 20, and this becomes 20 over 20, or 1z. 1z is just written as z. And this fraction, multiples of 5, top and bottom, so we can simplify by 5. And when we do that, we get z equals 15 over 4. You might need to do calculations on the side because you don't know what is 75 divided by 5. So just write it over on the side and do that division, okay, however you do it. And there's multiple ways to simplify a fraction, and I'm happy to show you. And one way, might as well write it here just as a quick note. Okay, one way you could do it would be to rewrite 75 as its prime factors, 3 times 5 times 5, and write 20 as its prime factors, 2 times 2 times 5. Then what can you cancel away? You can cancel away the 5 top and bottom, and then you take what remains that can't be canceled away and you multiply them back together. 3 times 5 is 15, 2 times 2 is 4. That's one way of simplifying a fraction. Now, so you get z equals 15 over 4. Now I did that, but I don't want you to necessarily write all over your paper like that. That's problematic to see all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to get rid of it. I just wanted to show it to you. Okay, that's what you can do though. And what do we do now to see if that answer is correct? We're going to write a proof. Proof. First line, exact equation unchanged, original equation unchanged. What do we do from there? We rewrite on the next step that same equation, and everywhere we had a variable, we put parentheses. Well, take note then. If that's true, then we've got parentheses that are going to need to go inside other parentheses. And so what do we do there? Do you know? Can you guess? We put brackets on the outside for the outside parentheses. And also note this, I'm replacing z with a fraction, so I've made the parentheses 2 lines tall because I need to fit in a numerator and denominator, okay? So that's too tall to fit what the value of z is, which is a fraction, and the outside, the parentheses here become brackets outside, just for that step. Now I need to simplify. Okay, for the next step, I do this 4 and this 4. They happen to be inverse operations. This is 15 divided by 4, and now it's times 4. It undoes it, and that will result in 15. So we get still 5 over here, and then because this all turns into just 15, we no longer have parentheses inside, so the outside brackets turn back into parentheses. And we say 5 parentheses 2, that stays there. This has been simplified into 15. Because inside parentheses, you follow order of operations, and the first thing it says to do is multiply before you can do any addition between these. Okay? So now, continuing to follow order of operations, we need to finish what's in parentheses first. Okay? You could distribute this through, but don't. You don't need to. Okay? Because this can all be done inside to get to a single value, and you should bring this down to a single value. Unless you can do that if you really understand the rules and what you're doing. But for kids that aren't super confident at it, there's the ability to make mistakes. So just simplify inside the parentheses. Okay? And then it becomes 5 parentheses. What is 2 plus 15? It is 17. Okay? The parentheses are still there, even though that's down to a single value, because this number is multiplying this number. And you multiply by putting multiplier right outside the parentheses with no sign in between. Okay, and now last step, we're going to do the multiplication. 5 times 17, calculate it on the side if you need to. 5 times 17 is really 5 times 10, 50, and 5 times 7, 35. What's 50 plus 35? It is 85, and so 85 equals 85. Check.